Hi everyone, welcome back. Yesterday I was working on Maximus rig, so I just needed a bit of a break. So I thought today we can process some of the other videos for Pascal. Okay, today, last time we finished, I think, with creating the main control and sorting out all the rest of the controls under the main control. Today we are going to attach the pelvic controls. You ready? There we are. It's 26 minutes. I wonder whether that's... Shall we try once? Maybe. That will do. Okay. Create nerve circle. I think that's the body and the pelvic controls I'm creating. Let's have a look. Yeah. I think for this rig I used the offset parent matrix. Not too sure, because with Maximus definitely used the offset folder, grouping them, because I wasn't sure how I wanted the controls in the group. So I had to take them in and out of the group, and that will mess up. If you do the offset parent matrix, that would definitely mess up everything. Okay, so we did the control body, control hips. I think for this rig I went with basically having kind of IK handles only, no FK rig for the legs. Since he's not that detailed in the movie, and I mean he's so small there, it's fine. With Maximus, I did it totally different according to the skeleton. What happened here? I interrupted again, didn't I? Thinking. Okay. Decided to move them out for some reason. I think I can't. Oh yeah, I am trying to amend them according to the rotation. Yeah, now I remembered. So when I once I parent them, they're gonna be aligned the way I want them. That's why with Maximus I did the offset grouping for the separate controls. Let me show you what I mean. Let me just pause it for a moment. Where's my Maya? Okay, let me bring the outliner. Rather than having them just on their own, and there we are. See, that's the offset. So I have, if you have a look at the channel box, see all these rubbish numbers that I have, but that's all in the offset control body folder. Let's call it a group folder. Yeah, that's the main one. And under this, I have my control, which is always gonna be clean, regardless of where. I just need to be careful when I'm parenting stuff and when I'm moving stuff. I use the group folder rather than selecting my control, because then I'm gonna mess up my translations and rotations, and we won't always want them zeroed. So that's how I did. If you have a look at all of my controls here, there's my control main, which I don't need obviously for it, an offset group. But look, every control I have in an offset group. Where's my keyboard? So every control I have, especially the ones which are connected for rotation and whatnot. The face ones, which are just point constraint, I don't need to because I can always freeze transformation. But if I freeze transformation on any of those, it's gonna get really bad. Why is this not on a 0? There we are. So if you have a look, all my controls are in an offset folder. So I don't need to worry about any of the rubbish numbers when I move them in and out of groups. Hope it makes sense what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to Pascal now. With Pascal, what I did is remove that twice. You see, all of the controls here, they're clean. I don't have them in a group folder with an offset because I will clean them afterwards with the offset parent matrix. Okay, makes sense. What am I doing here? Okay. So basically, I'm basically rotating them. So after the parenting, they would actually go in the rotation way that I want them. Hope it makes sense what I'm saying. Come on. Yeah, that's quite tricky. You can do it a few different ways. For this one, I kind of thought that I would build it like a normal human-like character. Yeah. Okay, I'm not doing anything here. Did I get interrupted or I was just thinking or regardless? Okay, we missed what we did here. Okay. Select the joint, select the control, and we parent them. Now we go in, we delete the parent constraint, and it still didn't rotate the way I wanted it. Nevertheless, it's always go in rotate mode or in home mode for the whole object, and you can rotate it and position it the way you want without disturbing all the translations and whatnot. So I just snapped it. You see, I still have rubbish numbers there in the hip and everything. But that's fine because afterwards I'll use the offset parent matrix to clean it after I group them. Parent them under each other. I'm checking the axis. That's why with this way, using the offset parent matrix, it's very tricky. It's very, very tricky. It's very nice and clean in the outliner and all, but I prefer using the offset grouping because once you position them all and you group them, you parent them to each other in a hierarchy where they need to go, specifically for the spine and the hips and the pelvis, it's you clean the offset parent matrix and then you think, that's not working properly. You know, what do I do? And it's getting very, very confusing. You can try both ways and see how it works. I'm not sure for this one I've used for any of the controls I've used offset grouping. Come on. Don't you just love it when you can't select what you want? Come on. Checking my axes and whether they're snapped to the joint. Yeah, let's put them in the main control. Yeah, I've swapped the names. It wasn't the correct, was it? Okay. So now we have the pelvis. Well, can't really call it pelvis, so that's why I called it hips front. And then you have hip left, hip right on the front. See how nicely it rotates. Okay, let's snap those. Don't forget to snap two on top. Snap it to the joint. Move it to the center. Kind of. That's for the back hips. It's very confusing sometimes with all the rotation involved. That it needs to be the same orientation as the joints because otherwise you're in trouble. Let's move that out. Yeah, that's why I figured out in the beginning before I parented, it doesn't really matter the way I draw it, whether on the X or on the Y axis. Because once I parent it to the bone that I need, I can always go into whole mode for the whole object to rotate it, scale it, and then into vertex mode to just move the vertices around where you want them. Because in whole mode, you can rotate the control without disturbing the transforms. I'm just checking whether they're in my correct. You see? Nicely dancing back pelvis. And it's moving it up as well. It's working nice. Then we have more. I think that's it. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.